Hello, everyone. Welcome to Howard University and to this first semester in your Social Welfare Policy and Services 1 course. Excuse me. My name is Dr. Aisha Bonner, and I will be your professor this semester. I like to make sure to start out each semester by taking some time to go through the syllabus. This is my contract with you and your contract with me. At the end of the semester, you should have learned the items that we're going to go over. And this document will be your complete guide to that. I want to first mention, as you know, this is online class, and all of the material in the syllabus are also inside the Blackboard site for this class. So please don't print this document. It's way too many pages, kills way too many trees. You never have to worry about not being able to access the information. It's all online. If you want to have a copy on your local computer, feel free to download it. But there's no need to print this material. So let's get started. My cell phone is listed right at the top there. Feel free to text me if you need something. I'm also on the team site. You should have gotten an invitation from me to join the classroom on Teams. There are lots of ways to reach me, but do feel free to text. If you text me, please make sure you tell me who you are. Your phone number will not come up in my phone with your name, so please let me know who you are and which of my classes you are in. I don't use my Howard email as my primary email, so if you need something to get to me, please send it to my Gmail, which is also listed. And our class will virtually take place on Thursday. You don't need to be online at a specific time, but I find it's helpful for the students to have a day in which they sort of think about this class existing. I will also hold virtual office hours Thursday evenings from 9 to 10 on the Blackboard virtual hours link inside of the class. If that time is not convenient for you, that's not a problem. Just let me know. We can set up a separate time to meet and chat, however works best for you. And that virtual office hours is just like a physical one. You can drop by at any time between 9 and 10 if you have a question or you just want to talk to me. That's fine. So I'm not going to read all 26 of these pages, but I do expect you to read it. The course overview, this is, first level course on social welfare and policy, and really critical for social workers. You have to understand our history, what we've done, and where we're going. And this class is the first step along that path. There's also a breakout of the Black perspective. I know from the orientation, a number of people mentioned the Black perspective being a reason why they came to Howard, or they were interested because they weren't getting that material elsewhere. So if you haven't seen it before, here's how we look at the principles in relationship to the courses here. You can check out the mission for School of Social Work here. I'm sure some of you have already seen it. Course objectives, what you should be able to do by the time you leave, the educational outcomes, the core competencies that we're addressing in the class, and then a breakout where you'll see those competencies in the assignments that you are doing. So that's all there for you to dive into. Here's our textbook. And there's some supplementary text you might be interested. Obviously, this class is restricted to registered students, and we do follow the academic code of conduct. Plagiarism is a huge no-no. And I like to tell people it's not just the cheating, but when you plagiarize someone else's work, you are stealing their intellectual content. And, you know, that's a terrible thing on both sides, right? You are coming to school, and my hope is that you are here to build your own capacity for generating, you know, written materials, presentations, learning to engage yourself, and all of that hard work. If you're plagiarizing, you're taking that from somebody else. So please, please, if you're not familiar with APA publication standards, that is what we use in the School of Social Work. And there's always a way. If you see something else that somebody else has written and you want to share that information, there's a way to do that that is correct and proper and ensures that the person who created that material is credited. And that's fine. We do that all the time. But you need to do it properly. So you can find out how to do that if you don't know already in the APA manual. If you're used to using MLS or the Chicago style, you definitely need to take a dive in the APA manual because they are very different publication manuals. All right, so this section is going to give you all the information that you should need in terms of the various services that are available. If you do need some type of consideration, you need to make sure that you have reached out to the department that deals with that, and there's some paperwork. It's not super difficult, but we want to make sure that everyone is getting what they need to be successful. There's a graduate group for academic support. If you need it, please take advantage of it. You know, as social workers, we spend a lot of time writing, whether you're a clinician and you're documenting things in the field, whether you're on the macro side and you're writing policy or grants. We have to be able to communicate effectively with our clients, with our colleagues. So if you do need additional support for whatever reason, please take advantage of it. It's here. It's part of the money you're paying as tuition to have access to those services. If you are experiencing any type of interpersonal violence, if you are seeing someone who is experiencing that, we do have a department that you can reach out to, as well as the counseling center. But, you know, please make sure to address that and either get help or get help for someone else. Here's our policy on equal opportunity. As I just talked about, writing matters. Here is the student link to writing across the curriculum. Again, the publication manual. I think I have the 7th listed in the required text, but the 6th or 7th edition, either will be fine. I want to make sure to point out this website. This got me through a lot of writing, a good portion of my dissertation. The OWL at Purdue has a great resource for the APA. You can basically look up any kind of thing that you're looking to do They have very clear explanations to use. I think it's a great help, and it's much easier than carrying around the APA manual. So please make sure that you take advantage of that. You need to do your work. You need to submit it on time. 99% of your assignments are going to be due on a specific day by end of day. So 11:59 p.m. on whatever the due date is typically the time that your assignments are expected to be in. There are a couple of times when there will be a different due date and due time. Please, it's all written, spelled out in the syllabus. Please make sure you are paying attention and, don't end up losing points because you didn't check your calendar or check the syllabus for what you needed to do. I highly encourage you all to connect with one another. Since we're not in class these days, it's not necessarily about getting notes from missing a class, but just having someone to reach out to ask for help. And that's something as social workers we should practice for sure. Here are the technology requirements. I imagine everyone's up to speed, but there is a way that you can do a check of your browser and your computer, and it is in the syllabus here. Actually, I think it's right here on page 10. You can check the compatibility of your computer just to make sure you will not have any problems. So, online learning is special. If you've never taken an online class before, I typically tell students, I think personally it's a little bit more difficult. In the sense, it's still the same course, the same materials, same activities, but you won't have me standing in front of you once a week, reminding you with my physical presence. You will have to do the yeoman share of work in maintaining your schedule. I lay out my online classes so from the day you enter the class, every assignment, every activity, every discussion board, every single thing that you need is in the course already. Sometimes I add stuff mid-semester, but everything is already laid out for you here. So I do send out weekly reminders, but I also work another full-time job, so I have on occasion been late with my reminders, and it's the reason I put everything in the class at the beginning of the semester. So you should not be reliant on my reminder. You have your calendar, you have all of the materials. My expectation is that is sufficient. But I do send out reminders. I try to do it, at the same time, that sort of thing. And you will get an email with whatever I'm sending out, but you have to manage that. And that's the most critical thing that you need for this class is excellent time management skills. If you have those, you'll be just fine. So the discussion board is sort of the main interface here. You will have something to do on the discussion board every week, sometimes multiple somethings. You have a discussion board post every week of the course, and there are 4 activities that you will also post something on the discussion board. So it's important that we're all respectful to one another. And the main requirement is that you will be posting in response to some type of prompt I have provided you. But then you're also replying to two of your colleagues each time as indicated. And what I don't want to see are posts, oh, this was great. I loved what you wrote. Those things may be true, but they're also wastes of space. And that's not to say we can't, be kind, but the bulk of your comment should in fact be actual commentary on whatever the person posted. Um, I won't go so far as to say analysis, but your comment should be substantive. So when you are replying to my prompt, you must provide at least 200 words to answer. You can certainly go over that, but the minimum is 200. And each reply to your colleague / classmate should be 100 words. So, and if you look in the syllabus here, you can read, I mean, this is evidence-based in terms of, really anything under that is not going to get the job done. So I'm sure there are some folks who are wondering, is she really going to count? Yes, I do, each and every time. It's a really silly way to lose points. Every word processing program has a word count. Please use it. And you have 6 days to make your discussion board post. For instance, if the assignment is given on the 1st, then it's not due until the 6th. So you have a full 6 days. Again, the key to doing well and being successful is time management. All right, so you can read the rest of that section. Please do not post any social media sites, video clips. If you have a side business, don't post a link to, your sales page. It is all online, and so it has that sort of, internet feel to it, but this is a classroom, and it's simply not appropriate. Just a heads up, if you miss more than 6 discussion board assignments, that is an automatic F. Think of it like the discussion board is a reflection of a classroom. And if you didn't show up for almost half the semester, you would most certainly fail. Same online. I'm testing something new. I started last semester. I'm allotting a mental health day. So if things get rough, and certainly in our current circumstances, things are already rough, you can shoot me an email or a text and say, hey, I need to use my mental health day. And that will be fine. Obviously, this is not going to count for a test or your final paper, but I'm checking to see how that works and if people use it. So just keep that in mind. All right, so here it is. This is how I will be looking at your performance over the semester. There are 4 mini exams. These are really reading exams. It's important that you read the material. Some professors call it a reading check, but each one is worth 10% of your grade. They are open book, which, as most people know, if they're open book, they're typically a little bit more difficult. So keep that in mind. You have 6 days from the week of that class to turn in the test. They're all going to be automatically graded, so you'll get your grade right away. There is a group policy paper. It's a paper and a presentation, and both of those parts are worth 10%. An individual, you have an individual assignment, the intellectual biography, that's 5%. Your final policy paper is 30% of your grade. And class participation, which includes discussion boards and the class activities I mentioned earlier, are 15%. I will do my level best to make sure your assignments are graded and in the online gradebook by the next class period. That does not count for papers. And I have an extra large class this semester, so give me a little leeway, but for, I would say about 80% of the assignments, you're going to have them back the next week. I try to stay pretty on top of that. So here, just some expanded descriptions of the various assignments. This is also online, and there's more information online as well, some individual write-ups with more specific information. So don't use this necessarily as your guide. For instance, the intellectual biography, the social policy, group work, and the final paper all have additional information online for you to look at. Okay, so this next part is the units of study with some additional resources here for your reading pleasure. And I'm just gonna scroll down here. Keep going to the most important document in the class, your course calendar. Here, as you can see, we have the week, the topic, whatever assignment, and for some of them, the breakdown for the final grade. And I'm trying something new again this semester of color coding the various assignments to just make it a little bit more visual, a little easier to cue in on certain things. So as you can see, each of your standard discussion board and that is where I'm going to give you a writing prompt, a question, something to consider, and you will respond. The green highlighted items are quizzes or exams. So you have a plagiarism quiz due at the beginning of the semester, and then the 4 mini exams, as you can see. The yellow highlights are written assignments, like your papers, the group policy paper, and presentation, etc. And then the blue is going to be activities. As I told you, there are 4 throughout the semester. So this is also on the Blackboard site as well. So again, please don't murder any trees to print this out. All right, so I think that's pretty much it in terms of highlighting the syllabus. I also like to do just a quick run through of the course. So let me stop sharing and then share my screen here. And so when you log into Blackboard, you will have your page will look a little bit different, but you'll see the course, you'll click into it, and this is what you will find. It will always start you out on the announcement page, and don't stress out. Some of these things you may not see because it's only in the teacher view, but I'm just going to highlight some stuff that I think is important. The announcements will always also pop up here when I send them. The first time I send them, they will also arrive in your inbox via email. You're going to start here. You're going to get some important information, just sort of getting started. There'll be a welcome video here by the time you get to class. And the course basics here, the syllabus, this overview video will be right here. As I said, the Black perspective, objectives, outcomes are all here. Here is the calendar set for you, performance, the books, etc., etc. All manner of activity information for you there. The course calendar pre-populates based on, oh no, sorry, wrong link, wrong calendar. I thought it was here. Huh. Well, there is an actual calendar that, oh, it might be here in course tools. Oh, there used to be a calendar. I know it's in my other class. If I can pull it back up, I'll plug it in there. But oh, I think there it is. There it is. Sorry about that. At any rate, the course calendar pre-populates all of the assignments. And again, you're seeing the teacher view, which has all of my classes. All right. So when you open this, it will already be pre-populated. You don't need to do anything, but you can use it as a calendar for yourself and add items here as you wish. All right, discussion board. This is it. This is where all the work gets done. So I've given a reminder of the expectations for posting in the discussion board. If you have a non-urgent question, you can drop it here for me. You can also reach out to me on Teams. I set up this space for you all to use. You can post anonymously if you want to, but I don't go into that student lounge. It's for you guys to use. I'm always interested in feedback. So for the exams, if you have some type of feedback, feel free to let me know. And here's basically how it works. I will have a prompt posted. I will ask you or tell you what I need you to do, and you will see the due date. For the instructions, in the introductions, you do not need to respond to people's posts unless you choose to. For most of the other discussion board posts, it is your post and then your response. So you can see here, the whole semester is right here waiting for you, including some awesome extra credit. All right. So for your group project, you're already assigned to groups. It was 100% random. And you will each have a different group name so I can help keep you guys identified. And so during the week, I should say something else about the groups. So I'm not going to go into I guess it doesn't matter. When you go into the groups, you have basically another mini site. It's like a site inside of a site for you all to use. So while you're in your group, you have the collaborate tools. You can upload and exchange files. There's a blog, not that I've ever had any student use that, that you have an internal discussion board just for your group. Journal, you can set up tasks, you can develop a wiki, and you can send email. And as you can see, your group presentation turn-in link, this is one way you can get at it, is right here. And this is all for you to use. This is not for, this is not necessarily for me to do anything with, but just an easy way to help you all collaborate while you're working. Just another note on the groups. Inevitably, every semester I get, you know, very stressed out emails from students who are desperately trying to get into contact with their group mates on an assignment. Everybody has different working styles. Everybody has different expectations, but I think it's important to remember that this is a professional program preparing you for a professional job. And if the team psychiatrist called you, or the person you're writing a grant for called you, you wouldn't ignore their call. You would call them back. So please treat your group members like they are part of a team, a professional team that you're on, all working towards one goal. Return calls, return emails, and work together. As I said, everyone has different working styles. Some people wait until the last minute. Some people are early planners. You are working as a team, and so you have to find a middle ground that everyone can live with. The bottom line is treat your group members like you would if you worked with them in a professional setting working on a goal. That is my expectation for you. And I really just, I think it's a little disgraceful when, you know, everyone is busy, everyone has got school and family and possibly work and all kinds of other things going on, and we're all dealing with COVID. It is an unnecessary addition to people's stress to have to write me and say, so-and-so won't return my call, I can't get a hold of them, what should I do? Should I do the paper on my own? Every single semester, I have had some kind of interaction like that. So let's not do that to one another. All right, so here you see the unit lessons all broken out. You have multiple ways to get to a lot of the same content, so you don't need to freak out. Yes, you can get to the plagiarism quiz there. You can also get to it from quizzes. It doesn't matter, it's all taking you to the same place. Make sure that when you see links that have a little line below them, that you click on them. So this is just sort of like, here's what you're learning this week, but inside is the rest of the material. So links to the discussion board, the PowerPoints. There aren't videos except for the one outside of here. There aren't videos for this week, for week one, inside here, but typically I'll go and show you another example. And then that's some additional reading. Let's skip down to, so if you, as I said, click on that unit, it shows you a folder, so you know there's more there. The PowerPoint for that week, the link to the discussion board, and then whatever videos, lecture series, whatever kind of stuff I have will be in for you here. So just make sure to click that link, and in other spots you will also see stuff like, it will say required activity, go online and play spent. Complete the activity by posting a write-up to the discussion board. DB stands for discussion board. So just make sure you are looking clearly, but you also, aside from the activity, have this additional material in here. So just make sure anytime you see the little bar that you know that's a link, and click on it so you can get all of the information that you are paying for. This is also another link to the discussion board. It's all taking you to the same place. I talked about earlier that I would have virtual office hours. When you click on the link, you're going to see something like this. And what you want to do is not that. Oh, you want to click on it like I just told you. And eventually you will get here, and this is what I was looking for. You can see all of the office hours for the whole semester. Obviously you can't get into them because it's not time yet, but and then you just click and it will take you into the Collaborate space, and we can chat via video or just by voice or just by typing. And the same is true on the team site. So you have a lot of ways to get a hold of me. But for whatever the reason you're trying to get a hold of me, don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until the night before to tell me that you're having a crisis, you know, unless the crisis legitimately occurred the night before. But still, the expectation is that because you have all of the due dates from the beginning of the semester, you should be planning well enough that hopefully a crisis will not catch you flat-footed. That being said, if something happens, don't just disappear. Keep in touch, reach out to me, let me know how I can support you. But you got to do that as soon as possible. You know, not 3 months into it and you haven't turned in an assignment. That's not going to work. All right, so virtual office hours, and then as I said earlier, for each of the assignments, you have additional information, and the quizzes here, you can also find them here. So I think that's about it. I have a couple more videos to do, but I like to take the time to go through this with you. And, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. All right.